Well, a moment in history has come to an end. 11 days of national mourning, culminating in a dazzling show of pomp, ritual and splendour. Queen Elizabeth II has completed her journey to her final resting place.
Watching it all happen was just beautiful and it meant a lot to be here.
It's lovely to see the sun come out to say goodbye.
And she'll be with Philip soon, won't she? So they'll be together.
In London and around the world, spectators moved by the moment.
I came here and I'm actually a different person going back.
2,000 military personnel marching at precisely 75 steps per minute. A once-in-a-lifetime guest list. A handwritten note that read, "In loving and devoted memory, Charles R." History made. Then, the final chapter. The Queen's coffin carried in a custom Jaguar Land Rover hearse to her beloved Windsor Castle. There waiting, the Queen's corgis Mick and Sandy and her pony Emma paying their respects. Crowds, dozens deep.
Seeing it in real life, the coffin, the soldiers go past, but it was beautiful. It's a nice send-off for her.
The church service at St George's Chapel in Windsor was smaller and more intimate. Her casket lowered into the royal vault.
Most mighty and most excellent monarch, Elizabeth II.
If, as she once said, grief is the price we pay for love, then the weight of our collective sorrow is testament to the depth of affection in which she is held.
After the pipers, buglers, emperors and sultans, the military might, the ritual, the symbolism, the final farewell belonged to the Queen's family alone. Britain's longest reigning monarch finally laid to rest in a private burial at King George VI Memorial Chapel, alongside her husband of 73 years.
She made history. She was history. Queen Elizabeth II is gone, but she will surely never be forgotten.
Lisa joins us now once more from London. Lisa, truly a spectacular day, but also one of great emotion.
It certainly was, Waleed, and I think for everyone watching, there were various moments that we all experienced in various ways. For me, a couple of the most poignant moments, the first one was that moment when the Queen's gun carriage passed by Buckingham Palace for the very last time. That was, of course, Queen Elizabeth's home from the age of 10. And we got that small glimpse of that balcony that so often was the backdrop and set the scene for some of the Queen's landmark moments. And we will never see that again. So that was one moment for me. Another was the end of the service at Windsor Chapel, when we saw the crown, the orb and the sceptre removed from atop the Queen's coffin, which formally separated her from the emblems of all her earthly powers. And I think many of us looked at Charles at that moment. You could see the weight, the enormity of that symbolism and how that was affecting him. We saw the tears in his eyes. And speaking of tears, we saw the tears of little Princess Charlotte. She is, of course, at 7 years of age, third in line to the throne. And you can only imagine how she was feeling right then. But then a little later, we saw her not really telling off Prince George, but instructing him on the best thing to do when the coffin came past. And she just reminded him his duty was to bow. And it looked like he obeyed the orders.
Glad we didn't have that siren during the hour-long funeral there in the background, Lise.
Oh, that's the constant chorus of the last 10 days here in London, Carrie, I can promise you.
Lisa, naturally the internet, as only the internet can, has zoned in on some of the more unexpected moments.
Yes, I think when something is as meticulously planned as yesterday's events were, Jimmy, everyone is looking for something to go wrong. The one people just loved to bits, of course, was the spider that crawled out of one of the pink roses onto the card that was left so poignantly by Prince Charles. But everybody loved the spider, and plenty of people here are saying it was easier for a spider to hitch a ride atop a royal coffin than it was to get an Uber here in London yesterday. And that spider has a bunch of Twitter accounts at the moment. Just no word on which one is the official one. There was also the piece of paper that a bishop accidentally dropped while in full view of the cameras. And I think we all saw that look on his face when he saw the paper fall, deciding, do I run for it? He's probably wearing about 20 kilos worth of robes at that moment. All we know is the next time we saw that wide shot, the paper was gone. The bishop was still there, so he managed to survive it. But yeah, so many great moments, and this city right now is returning to normal. The official mourning period has now finished.
As the sirens tell us, Lisa. Thank you very much for speaking to us, and I appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.